testament to your exceptional leadership skills, vast experience, and unwavering commitment to the welfare of the people. Your dedication to public welfare, social justice, and good governance has earned you the trust and admiration of the people. Enugu Network Center stand united with you and support your aspiration for a better Enugu State. Once again, congratulations. Signed, Mwadi Eloguike, Zonal Director, Enugu Network Center.
A classico, I tell you, my 3 points is clear.
Yes.
Eh? They go watch match.
It is a beautiful Sunday, and we are here to ensure that you enjoy the rest of your day with the captivating and heartwarming stories we have lined up for you tonight on Sunday Rendezvous. We will not let the cat out of the bag yet, but I urge you to draw closer to your television and pay attention as we dish out our content. Good evening, and I'm glad you could join us. Do not forget that you can watch us live on our YouTube channel at NTA Enugu. Now, we begin with the stories making the rounds. Enugu State Governor Dr. Peter Mba has restated his resolve to discontinue the Monday sit-at-home if he must achieve his promise of growing the state's GDP from $4.4 to $30 billion. Chika Ugu reports that the governor stated this during a stakeholders town hall meeting aimed at charting the way forward.
22 months of unproductivity every Monday affecting all spheres of life, especially the state's economy, which loses about 10 billion naira every Monday. In a bid to transform Enugu State and revive the spirit of entrepreneurship and industrialization the Igbos are known for, the state government took a bold step and put an end to the Monday sit-at-home directive. Mixed reactions have trailed this decision, hence this town hall meeting to afford key players the opportunity to bear their minds on the issue and be on the same page.
If we take the impact the Monday's sit-at-home has on our GDP, you will then begin to see why it's almost impossible for us to continue. And the private sector will not come to Enugu to cite their business if they know that we do not have 5 productive working days in a week, which is obtainable elsewhere.
To ensure total compliance to the state government's order, the Nigerian Police Enugu State Command has mapped out strategies to ensure safety of lives and property of residents in the state.
We have mapped out and we will continue to ensure the multi-deployment of the personnel and resources to strategic locations within Enugu metropolis and beyond, while also ensuring intense visibility by us of our look and crimes.
Key players at the town hall meeting who threw their weight behind the state government's stand on discontinuing the Monday sit-at-home identified education, judiciary, security sectors as the most hit by the directive.
In the education sector, our children are losing a lot because they only go to school 4 days of the week.
The steps taken so far are quite commendable. We must look for a criminological solution to this problem of sit-at-home.
After extensive deliberation, an 11-point communique was issued calling for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, among other issues.
The town hall enjoins members of the public to resume work and go about their normal daily businesses, as various security and intelligence agencies have, in their joint and collaborative efforts, given assurances of their safety, including proactive responses to distress calls at any time of the day.
The communique was adopted and signed by representatives of various organizations. In Enugu, Chika Ugu, NTA News.
And it would be remembered that Governor Peter Mba last week Monday monitored compliance with his directive to shun the Monday sit-at-home order as he visited various parastatals, markets and other places in the state. Again, Chika Ugu reports.
The monitoring exercise by Governor Peter Mba, which commenced at about 10 in the morning, took off with the visit to the office of the head of service, where it was observed that though some offices were locked, there were some staff present. He also visited different ministries, including ministries of Enugu Capital Territory, Works and Infrastructure, Finance and the State Treasury House to ascertain the level of attendance of staff to work.
So the order was meant to ensure that our people come out on the first working day of the week and be productive. And from what I could see going around the various ministries, we do have a compliance level of about 60 to 70%.
At the various markets visited, which includes the Akwata section of Obete Market, Mayor Market and Gariki Market, the governor was received by a large number of traders, including the chairman of Obete Market Traders Association and chairman Enugu North Council area. Governor Mba, expressed optimism that compliance would improve subsequently following a 60% compliance this Monday, went back memory lane to his inaugural speech, promised to revive the spirit of culture and commerce in Enugu State. He assured the people of government's commitment to security of lives and property, and Monday inclusive.
The economic devastation we are going through by just sitting at home, in terms of if we have to denominate it in naira and kobo, it's costing us over 10 billion naira just sitting at home on Monday.
He further urged the people to go about their lawful duties every Monday without fear of intimidation. In Enugu, Chika Ugu, NTA News.
And we are not yet done with Chika Ugu's report. And this time around, she says that the Enugu State 8 Assembly members-elect have been urged to render selfless and quality services to their constituents in order to ensure they enjoy dividends of good governance. This advice is coming from the state governor, Dr. Peter Mba, during a 3-day induction workshop organized for the members-elect last week.
The 3-day workshop is intended to provide the legislators the opportunity to acquire knowledge, information, and to expose them to the fundamentals of governance, leadership, management, and legislative practice. This is a platform to reflect on contemporary legislative challenges with a view to address them, to foster quality legislative service delivery to indigents of the state.
The objectives of this workshop, therefore, is to provide the participants with a holistic view of legislative and governance architecture, including the role of other stakeholders in the process.
To adequately equip the legislators for the task of not just making laws that will engender development and growth of the state, but also represent their constituencies selflessly. The state government facilitated this induction workshop to deepen participants' understanding of the workings, visions, and legislative process. The workshop was declared open by the governor, who was represented. He charged the legislators to equip themselves for the tasks ahead.
So expect they will write, expect they will malign you, expect they will cajole you,
I think it is about the determination to serve our people, and we should all have our laser focused fixation on the job at hand. I think that's what should guide our efforts.
The 24 members of the 8th House of Assembly expressed eagerness to intensify legislative advocacy for good governance. In Enugu, Chika Ubu, NTA News.
And still staying with the legislature, the 24 members-elect of the 8th Enugu State House of Assembly will be inaugurated on Tuesday, June 13, 2023. The Clerk of the House and Head of Legislative Service, Dr. Ima Udaya, said the inauguration will hold at the hallowed chambers of the State Assembly Complex at Independence Layout by 10 o'clock in the morning. A statement signed by the clerk states that every member-elect is expected to bring the original copies of his or her certificate of return from INEC and Code of Conduct, acknowledgement slip of access declaration to the Clerk of the House for citing and verification. All members-elect are also advised to be seated on their respective constituency seats in the hallowed chambers of the House at 30 minutes past 9 o'clock in the morning. The federal government, through the International Fund for Agriculture, IFAD, Value Chain Development Program, VCDP, has flagged off the 2023 wet season with the distribution of agro inputs to farmers in Enugu State. Speaking during the event, the National Program Coordinator, Dr. Fatima Aliyu, noted that with the level of commitment to the IFAD VCDP project by farmers and the drivers of the program in Enugu, the state is on the path to food sufficiency. Susan Eze reports.
The program, which supports the farmer organizations through the 3 value chains of production, processing, and marketing, began in Enugu State in September 2000, and the farmers are already testifying.
They are more than happy. I'm something more than happy, sir, because of what IFAD VCDP is doing to the life of the farmer. Whenever they give you any input, they will monitor you, they will teach you. Before we go inside the field, they will come and teach you, train you.
And one important thing is that this very program, there's no government interference in their activities. That is what is key, and that's why it's succeeding.
At this event, agrochemicals and improved crop varieties were distributed to farmers from the 5 participating local government areas in the state: Anenri, Udenu, Uzowane, Nkano East, and Enugu East. Out of the 9 participating states in the country, the national coordinator, Dr. Fatima Aliyu, represented by the National Human Resource Advisor, noted that the performance of the project in Enugu State is highly commendable.
Enugu State VCDP is one of our best performing states. I am impressed. My appeal is that this cooperation, this support should continue and be sustained.
The Enugu State government and the state program coordinator promised to consolidate on the success story of the program in the state.
The Enugu IFAD VCDP has supported over 10,000 farmers with agro inputs. Enugu State government will continue the support of this program to ensure the key performance indicators of program development goals is maximally achieved.
23 December and 24 December, any man, any woman from Enugu State who loves Enugu State will not have any cost to go and buy garri outside Enugu. You will not have a cost to buy a grain of rice outside Enugu State.
Other stakeholders described the IFAD VCD program as a game changer in the move to empower rural farmers and achieve food sufficiency. They pray the program be expanded to accommodate more beneficiaries. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
And still talking agriculture, driven by President Bola Tinubu's administration's resolve to encourage agriculture, farmers in Enugu State and other states in the southeast zone have stated their readiness to farm with vigor this 2023 cropping season to ensure a bumper yield. Chidi Okorafor reports that to buttress this point, farmers in the southeast are acquiring more farmlands for this year's cropping season.
Over times, agriculture has been constrained by numerous challenges, such as rural-urban migration, poor agricultural inputs and poor implementation of agricultural policies. It is against this backdrop that Nigeria's President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, at his inaugural speech, declared his administration's support for agriculture by creating agricultural hubs across the nation to increase production and engage in value-added processing. With the 2023 cropping season underway, farmers as well as stakeholders in Enugu and other southeast states have aligned themselves with the vision.
We distributed this across because this is a certified maize seed from the National Policy on Food Security, which we got. So we try to spread it so that it's a way of fighting hunger.
We are prepared. We have land, we have farmers, we have people that are dedicated to work.
So many of them have already gone into the farms, being supported by the ministry.
The farmers expressed joy for the farm inputs and other assistance given to them by the government.
We've been longing for this for a long time.
Assurance I'm giving to them is that they will use the inputs very well.
Many believe that Nigeria still has the potential to be food secure if it adopts and implements strategic measures like easy access to farm inputs, adequate budgetary provision, among others, for the peasant farmers to operate in their farming activities. In Enugu, Chidi Okrafo, NTA News.
The Enugu State Governor Dr. Peter Amba has appointed a new managerial team for the State Waste Management Authority, ESWAMA, led by Mr. Andres Gebau, to serve and improve the well-being of the people. To this end, the agency is introducing a new form of operation that will be more effective and is calling on the public to cooperate with the ESWAMA data collection team to desist from improper refuse disposal by bagging their refuse properly and depositing such waste at the designated dump sites between 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock in the morning and from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the evening daily. We'll pause here for some commercials. Sunday Rendezvous. We'll be right back. Do stay.
It is with deep sense of responsibility that I, Chief Dr. Emeka Ude, Gens International, congratulate the amiable Executive Governor of Enugu State, Chief Barrister Peter Amba. Your monumental milestones in previous engagements in Enugu State and business in general remains remarkable. There is no doubt that the Indian Enugu will reap from your wealth of experience. It is our hope that new GRA Transikulu community, which is fast turning into investment hub, will benefit from your benevolence through road infrastructure to enable development sustainability. Congratulations, Your Excellency, Chief Barrister Peter Mba. Signed, Chief Dr. Emeka Ude, Gens International.
Welcome back. Culture, they say, is the ideas, customs, and social behaviors of a people, as well as the people's way of life. And that is why key players want the federal government to improve on the nation's cultural values and promote culture across secondary schools in Nigeria. Uchenna Namele witnessed the Cultural Day celebration of the Bethel Home Convent School, Enugu, which held recently, and reads out the moments for Sunday Rendezvous.
It was the maiden edition of Cultural Day at the Bethel Home Convent, Enugu, as students, parents, guardians, staff, school management, including the Anglican Archbishop of Enugu Diocese, gathered to witness the beautiful Igbo Cultural Day. Living together is part of Igbo culture, and this was highlighted by the students showcasing how the region live in harmony. There were other side attractions and performances of Igbo extraction which many do not know. The Archbishop of the province, Most Reverend Emmanuel Chukwuma, and his wife, Dr. Joyce Chukwuma, noted that
Parents should not allow Western influence erode our cultural values.
But with this cultural show, they now have to go through every program speaking Igbo and making the programs in Igbo. So it will make them to have interest in the language of the motherland.
It's a way of projecting our language to the students and to their parents, that when they get home, parents should stop speaking English to them.
Parents were impressed with the performances of the students.
It's really nice, and these children have tried today to revive it. And I think that every school should put it in their curriculum.
The students expressed their feelings.
I feel so happy. It was my first day of having this occasion in this school.
It was very fantastic and it was very awesome because this is the first time I am having this kind of experience in my life.
Igwe and Lolo addressed his people after the coronation. It was indeed a fun-filled event.
Indeed, our country, Nigeria, is blessed with rich cultural heritage. And now to entertainment news. Afrobeat Nigerian superstar Burna Boy makes history with 2023 Champions League final as the Nigerian multi-hyphenate Bloody Civilian drops news compelling EP and management. And for more on the entertainment news, here is our correspondent with details. Afrobeats is on a global ascension as Nigerian superstars are taking the music to a global audience while winning awards. Grammy Award winner Burna Boy has recorded another giant feat after he became the first African artist to perform in a UEFA Champions League final at the 2023 European Club Football Final in Istanbul. And a popular Nigerian actor, Nonso Diogu, is making a Nollywood comeback after a 6-year break. The actor has been absent from the acting scene for about 6 years. Nonso Diogu has explained his 6-year-long absence from Nollywood, saying that he left the acting scene to focus on gaining more knowledge. Meanwhile, the Nigerian multi-hyphenate Bloody Civilian has released her highly anticipated debut EP Anger Management. Anger Management serves the perfect introduction to an artist with a singular, creative and sonic vision who is said to add spice and excitement to the Nigerian music industry through her unique style. And finally, award-winning Nigerian Afro-pop star, musician and producer Simi is back with a new single titled Stranger. The song features Simi's emotive voice and heartfelt songwriting, accompanied by lush piano arrangements and a beautiful string section. It was recently announced that Simi will be joining Grammy Award-winning superstar Alicia Keys on her Keys to the Summer North American tour in July. And these are some of the stories trending on the entertainment world. On Street Talk tonight, let's find out the question our correspondent took to the streets.
On the Street Talk, we are looking at if it is proper for a woman to initiate intimacy in marriage. Let's find out from married couple to know if it is proper for a woman to initiate intimacy in marriage.
Of course, if there is love in that marriage, a woman can initiate intimacy. Because when two people got married, there is love there. There is love that bound them. So, but if you are truly in love with your partner, yes, you can initiate intimacy. You will be free with him.
Pointed out, intimacy is a two-way program. A woman can initiate depending on the husband's understanding of the woman. If the husband is the type that accepts everything and they understand themselves, a woman can initiate intimacy. But if you are the kind of man who I will say, this woman, maybe you are a wayward something, why are you pushing me to this? But it doesn't work. If you are a woman against urge, you can intimate your husband if you are close.
For women to initiate intimacy is okay. That is nice.
It's proper for a woman to initiate intimacy for sex, because it's a two-way traffic. Instead that either a man need for it or a woman need for it. It's not a more that a man must need sex before sex can go on. A woman can need sex, then sex can go on. A man can need sex before sex can go on.
The truth is that what happens in marriage stays inside marriage. Initiating intimacy is not between her and her husband. I really don't think it's anybody's business what happens between husband and wife, who initiates and who does not initiate. And what happens is that a lot of women are very, very naive. They don't understand that when you have gotten married, this is what you ought to do as a job, as a responsibility. It's not something that you are doing as in nature, like you want to help your husband. You're not helping your husband. You are doing your duty as a married person. And so if you are doing your duty, when your husband is slacking, you ought to rise up to the duty and do what you ought to do. It's a work for me. It's something, it's not just something that just goes on. It's something that because it helps in building up the foundation and intimacy between couples.
You have all heard it from the street of Enugu. Chineye, is over to you.
What else can I say? Different strokes for different folks there. And this is where we call it a day on this week's edition of Sunday Rendezvous. We thank you so much for being a part of it. As Nigeria marks 24 years of uninterrupted democracy tomorrow, June 12th, we wish all Nigerians a wonderful celebration. Good night and God bless.